Welcome, welcome, welcome. It'll be interesting to see if anyone actually manages to join me today, because I set the live for the wrong time in true one's fashion. And yeah, I set it for an hour from now instead of midday UK. So hopefully I'll get to see some of you, but I'm really excited about what I'm going to share today. So those of you that are on replay, feel free to skip the first few minutes of introduction. Yay, someone's managed to work out that I meant midday rather than 1 o'clock. Hello, hello, hello. Nice to see you here. Do say hello. Let me know who you are so I can give you a personal hello back. Yay, people are joining. Amazing, fantastic. I'm sorry for messing up the time and messing with your head. So for those of you that don't know me, just a very quick introduction. My name is Tiffany Crosara. I am an inner transformation specialist, courage catalyst, author, and boho CEO of the Transformational Truth of Tarot, which has won a few awards in its time for the book, for the game, for the course. And yeah, the course is absolutely amazing. I love it. It's incredible. You'll probably hear me talk about it. When I talk about it, I call it TTT because it's just easier to do that. And what we've been doing this week is one of the practices from TTT. So you can probably see if this is just one of the practices from a big course, how big TTT actually is. But let me just get clear on what exactly I do, because there are quite a few misconceptions about what I do. Hi peeps, hi Marie, I've got a couple of Facebook users, so I can only see Marie's name. Anybody else that's commented, if you want me to know who you are, just say in the comments, okay? Because you haven't registered with StreamYard. Hi Julia, I can see you have. Nice to see you here. Yeah, so let's just get clear on what I do, and then we'll go into today's lesson on the wands, which I'm really excited to share with you. Okay, there's a lot of misconceptions about what I do because of the T word, not Tiffany, tarot, and there's a lot of misconceptions about tarot. I think the easiest way I can make it black and white for you is say that there is two camps. There is the predictive camp and there is the transformative camp. And the work that I really do is with helping intuitives that have fallen prey to outtuition, i.e. tuning out of themselves and into other people, so they've lost themselves. I help them tune back into them so they can start to receive the purpose, the passion, the partnerships that they wanted when they first began the spiritual path, but it's eluded them somehow. I mean, why is it that if you've got such a shit hot intuition, your life isn't shit hot, your relationships aren't shit hot? Well, it's because you've been using your intuition as out-tuition. And there will be more about that coming up for you in the next few weeks. I've got a workbook and an intuition immersion, 10-day immersion coming up as well. Okay, offer for you. But I just wanted to let you know that that is the foundational piece of my work. And the tarot is the way that I do it, but I don't do it through predictive tarot. I do it through transformative tarot. So predictive tarot is like embedding outtuition. Yes. So it's like, what is going to happen outside of me? Yes. Rather than what is happening inside of me. And you can probably see from the work that we've been doing this week that it is all about what is really happening inside of you. And that's what transformative tarot is about. And that's why I'm running this challenge, because it's kind of hard for people to get it unless they really kind of connect and experience it for themselves. So we started on Monday with the Magician, and the Magician helps you tune in to that universe. You are the universe. Yes, it's what it sounds like, universe. It's the co-creation. You are part of it. So the magician is helping you tune in. And we set an intention on Monday for the end of the week. Remember, we were doing SMART goals: specific, measurable, actionable, relatable, and timed. Okay. And the last couple of days, we've been quite internal with that intention. We've been questioning, asking for help from the universe, because that is the sword, which is thought, internal, and the cup, which is feeling, internal. Now we're going into the external today with the wand, which is creation, action, and inspired action. So it's time for us to start putting the pieces together. Okay, so for instance, my intention was to have the immersion, the intuition immersion bundle system for you created by the end of this week, although it won't be launched, so you won't see that magic yet. But for me, I wanted it done by the end of this week. And yesterday, it was a case of, there's something that's not quite in alignment. You know, when I said it's about slowing down and feeling into those niggling things about your intention that aren't quite right. And now, hopefully, you've managed to clarify where something might be feeling out of alignment in your body in your intention. Some people feel it in their body to manifest that pentacle. Yes. And that's what the work of the cup is, right? So let me give you an example. As part of my intuition immersion, I've done a video, and I did the video kind of off the cuff, and I was actually quite pleased with it. I thought that I'd managed to make what can be quite a heavy subject really quite fun. And I thought I did a good job of it. And then I posted it in this community. I was part of a community with a mentor for the last couple of months. And I posted it in there. And one of the mentors basically said that I was not standing in my power or my authority, and I was hiding behind fun and quirkiness, and that I needed to do it again, basically a lot more professionally. And I came away from that. As I said, I practiced the 5 agreements. So the 5th agreement says not to believe yourself or anybody else, right? So I was in this place of suspension with it, really. I was in this place of, okay, well, actually, I do stand for being myself. I do stand for being fun. I do think it's important to be authentically who you are. So you attract the right things to you, law of attraction. And I kind of tried to brush it to one side. So I carried on, and I sent it to my web designer for her to put up on my web page. And it went public yesterday, and I found myself freaking out. I found that little voice that says, what, you know, whispers, why, what if she's right? Going on in me. But since then, I'd come out of that community and I'd found myself in another community that's new to me this week. And so yesterday, the cup brought up for me this feeling, this nagging feeling about this video that had actually affected me. And you can probably think of a time when you've had some feedback that's affected you. And, you know, maybe you've carried it. Maybe it's suppressed your creativity. Maybe there's something now for you with this intention that you have set for the end of this week. Is there something blocking it that is maybe somebody else's comment or something else that needs healing? If that's the case, then I would say the last bit of the work of the cups for you would be to actually identify that feeling and bring it to the light. That's the Ace of Wands. Yes. Bring it up to be seen and look at where you can actually safely share that. So it was a bit of a challenge for me yesterday because I was brand new in this community. So it was a bit kind of like, oh my God, I don't know this community, and I'm actually just going to post it. And it was a mixture. It was like, by posting it, I was being seen, right? Which is the wands. So I just posted it and told them this story that I've told you, and said, I just really would like your honest feedback, please. And I'd rather honesty, than be told something to bolster my ego. I'd much rather you were honest with me. And I got a ton of comments back saying, oh, we were expecting you to be all airy fairy and kind of like laughy. And you weren't. You were authentic, you were real, you were relatable, you were fun, but you also came across as authoritative, and that you knew what the F you were talking about. Yeah. And it was like, thank you. I am now healed, because I took the time to tune into what wasn't feeling quite right. And then I brought it to light with the Ace of Wands. And that's how the Ace of Wands then activated with me. It gave me my power back to be visible. So this is what I would like for you to think about today in regards to your intention, if you've set one, but maybe if you haven't, then in regards to absolutely anything. And where can you share where you can have the support? Now, you can share in here. Absolutely, you can share in here. And I would invite you to go live, because the wand is all about being seen and embracing your vulnerability with visibility is a beautiful transition from the cups to the wands. I will let you know that the other agreement of mine, the 5 agreements are actually in the group description. The first agreement is to speak with truth and love. So I will not sugarcoat. If I can see that there is something that is out of alignment, then I will say it, but I will say it with love. Okay, so know that. Don't think, okay, I'm going to come in here and also let's go through the 5 agreements in case you do want to post and be live. Number 1 is speak with truth and love. So no gossip, no beating down anybody else. Okay, so you're just owning your story. Number 2 is not taking anything personally. So I took it personally, I guess, but I was trying not to, but it had that effect of locking me down. And we really do need to remember that whatever anybody says is always ultimately a reflection of themselves. Of course, that means the compliments as well. So in a way, like what I was saying yesterday about trying to have some control on reality, it doesn't really work. It's that subjective. But yeah, don't take anything personally. Whatever anybody says, whatever comments you get, it's always about that person, myself included. Any comments that come up is going to be from my experience. We can't be any other way, right? Then number 3, don't make assumptions. So find the power to question, yes, rather than assume. And number 4, always do your best. Gentle best will do. Yes, be gentle with you. Number 5 is like, don't believe yourself or anybody else. And it's really hard not to buy in, isn't it, when people tell you something about your creative process. And we're looking at the wands today, and that is all about your creative process. So it's about rescuing your creative process. And if any of you have read The Artist's Way, you'll see that a lot of the healing is about reclaiming your creativity. So, in terms of creativity, is something that does get knocked a lot, and it feels very personal because it is personally you, right? And another thing was when I did the book The Transformational Truth of Tarot, Oh, my lights have gone out. Ding, they need charging. Typical one's battery charging day. So when I did that, the illustrations needed to be done. And so I offered to do them, but they got rejected by my publisher because my publisher said they were too amateur. And that was in 2012, right? And it's only this year when I said to my husband at the beginning of the year, I really want to get back into art. And art is a typical thing that gets shut down by a comment. I've had people in TTT that haven't drawn since they were 4 because a teacher told them they couldn't draw, actually pick up pencils and start drawing. I've had people that have wanted to write books, actually write books on TDT. The Transformational Truth of Tarot, when I read the Artist's Way, I was like, oh my God, it's actually so similar, because we're tuning in with the right side of the brain, the creative side of the brain, the connection to the soul and the spirit. So, yeah, it was the beginning of this year, right, that I thought I really want to do some art again. And my husband pulled out this box, which is full of illustrations for that book that I'd shut away in 2012. So this is 8 years later. And he said, draw, paint, do your art. And you know what? I've just been doing it for me. That's what I started with. I just started doing it for me. Just a little project in lockdown that took me off of the computer and took me back to me with no intention. And I can feel it. I can feel that one day this will be a deck, but I'm not going to put a deadline on it or anything like that, but it's going to be a deck. It's going to be reclaimed. It's really just kind of motoring on now, but it took 8 years. Yes, it was like this had happened to my creativity for 8 years. Look, there's the 8 of Wands, right? So basically, you're then holding this baggage. This is like a reading. I'm loving it. It's like all random, but like as I'm telling you this story, the pictures are in alignment with it. So for 8 years, you know, it took 8 years for them to come out the box and start flying again, because of this baggage that I'd been given with the 10 of Wands. And now it's getting to the place where actually, no, you know what? I can sit easy with my 10 pentacles and be okay. These are my gifts and this is what I'm building over time. And it gives me a following, and I will be very tuned in to my intuitive process, and more people will come towards me. And there's always going to be an element of people not agreeing with things, and that's okay, because it's all part of the rich tapestry of life that moves you on, and then it starts all over again. So there you go. Where do you feel that your creative process, particularly if you've set an intention for this journey, so if you have in alignment to your intention, where does it need healing, and who can you share it with? Because that is the Ace of Cups. It's opening up to that vulnerability, so you can feel the strength in your vulnerability. Remember, our intention for yesterday was may I soften so I may receive. So it's then when you put it out there to the world and just go, hey, you know what? I've been carrying this. Is this right? I really feel like this is blocking me going forward. And it takes bravery. It takes courage. You don't know what's going to come back. But what can help you with knowing what is going to come back is to remember that whatever comes back is somebody else's story, somebody else's experience. And whatever it is will add to the rich tapestry. The problem is when it leaves something that is a mark on you. Yes, and that's going to happen. That's life. It's our job to go, Okay, I can see that, Mark. What action, which is the wand, by the way, it's all about inspired action now, can you take to bring it to light so that it can be transformed? In what way? Yes, does that make sense? Okay, so lovely to see peeps here. And someone said, oh goodness, I'm sorry that happened. For sure I can be knocked out by criticism. Right, so then I have yeah, that's going to be a problem for you, big time. So I'm going to recommend a website, except I don't know how to spell it. It's Andra Moher, I think. Is it Andra Moher, Mohr? And the book is The Inner Critic. No, it's not. It's Playing Bigger. The first chapter is The Inner Critic. Basically, if you go on her website, it's something like Andra Moher, you can get the first chapter for free, which is all about the inner critic. If you're being knocked down by criticism, it is your inner critic. And so this is the thing with life, you know, there is going to be criticism. It's how we can how we can take the information to make sure that we go forward with it, that is the rest, that makes the difference between success and failure, right? So that book will help you. It's called Playing Bigger, I think, Andra Moher. You can go on her website, you can get the first chapter free, which is all about the inner critic, okay? So that will help you, because it's very, very, very tough to live a life where criticism is going to knock you down all the time, and none of us are immune to it. I've just shared with you 2 pieces that have moved through it a lot quicker this time, to be honest, whereas 8 years ago, you know, it took me 8 years to uncover that piece. And it is about awareness, and it is about, oh, okay, this has left a mark, and I need to do something with that. And that chapter can really help you, as well as the 5 agreements, which I practice and which all of my clients practice. We're not perfect, but we make a commitment to practice it every day, because if you make a commitment to practice that every day, I can work with you. But if you don't make a commitment to practice that every day, I can't work with you. It's not possible if you are going to take things personally, if you're going to make assumptions, if you're not going to talk in truth and love, if you're not going to do your best. And, you know, I want to add the word gentle into do your best. So do your gentle best, yes, is important for intuitives, because there is a lot of over trying and overdoing with intuitives. They try too hard rather than not enough. So I add gentle best to that. And you also have to be willing to be like, okay, maybe I'm wrong in myself, and maybe Tiffany's wrong in herself as well. So the ability to question for yourself as well is really, really, really important. And I don't know how I'd be able to actually function in life or be a leader or hold such a powerful quality group without that buy-in of the group into the same mentality, of the same practice as me around the 5 agreements. They are absolutely life-changing. And so for those of you that don't know it, they are in the group description, and they're by Don Miguel Ruiz. And it's important. It's really important that those 5 agreements, if anything in life, I would say, if somebody asked me, what do you feel is the most important word to be spread out there in the world, I would say the 5 agreements, because it's simple, easy for people to get their head around. And when they apply it, it's absolutely life changing. So if you haven't seen them and you are watching this in Inner Transformation with Tiffany Crosara, do go to the group description, and also do check out the Inner Critic on Andrew Mohair's website if you do get knocked down by criticism regularly. So those two things will really, really support you with the healing process so that you can make your life magic, reclaim your creativity, and then get to that place where you manifested your intention. So for me, yeah, I can't believe that tomorrow we're on the Pentacle, but yeah, I think maybe by the end of the day tomorrow I'll have my intention finished. And you know, what about you? Where are you at with your intention? And what do you need to bring to light for it to be seen, healed, witnessed? You can write it out in the group if you want. I do suggest going live because it is Day of the Wand, which is about making things seen and visible. And there's something about that vulnerability that going live brings up for us. But actually, by doing it, we are connecting a lot deeper than if we're just writing with someone. Like, you probably feel like you know me because I've been going live with you every day, whereas if it was just the posts, right, it wouldn't be so powerful or so effective. However, if that's putting you into panic zone rather than stretch zone, so there's 3 zones. Yes, there's the comfort zone, which doesn't give you any growth. And then there's the panic zone, which doesn't give you any growth either. So you want to be in the stretch zone. If you haven't posted yet, maybe your stretch zone is to post this anything, but something that makes you feel a little bit like, oh, I am in stretch zone, or could be to do with the topic today about what is it that is maybe standing in the way of you creating your intention and manifesting it. If you haven't gone live yet, but you've been posting, then maybe your stretch zone is to go live. All right. Looking through your comments, someone said that's a gorgeous transition, isn't it just? It's lovely. Hi, Sharon. Nice to see you here. Amazing, says Julia. Thank you. I used to love drawing as a child and have recently thought of having a go at art again. Ah, there you go. Maybe there's something there for it. Beautiful, Julia. Feeling your amazing energy. Thank you for sharing your vulnerability and courage. I will look up playing bigger. Gratitude, Simone. Fantastic, Simone. I'm so pleased to hear that, because it's such a horrible way to live, isn't it? When you're, I think it's like the 4 agreements say, when you don't take anything personally and you realize that whatever anybody says is about them, then it's, you're no longer suffering. You're no longer that needless victim. So please do remember that it's a hard one. I keep being seen. I keep being shown where I'm taking things personally. And I was like, oh, when I first started the practice, I was like, I don't take things personally. I don't care what anybody thinks about me. That was a total mask. And so, yeah, now it's like still a work in process, which is why I say none of us are perfect, but it's a practice to commit to for life, really. And life will keep showing you where you might be taking things personally or making assumptions, but it will only do that clearly when you have actually committed to practicing the 5 agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. Okay. You're welcome. Someone is saying they're listening by whilst hiking. Awesome. That's a real wand thing to do. Get moving today is a wand thing as well. Dance, movement. It's all about action and creation, moving the energy, switching it up. I still feel quite cuppy, to be honest. I don't know how you guys feel. I did the wands with my Transformational Truth of Tarot group last week, the whole wands journey, and it was amazing. We all got this incredible kick of energy in the most fantastic way, and it really put us back in complete alignment. It was fantastic. And we had done the whole of the cups beforehand, which had made us all go really, whoa, so it was really well needed. Yeah, so it's always different. It's always different. And there was a little example of how my cup transcended into my wand today, but my wand is still feeling quite cup-like. Yes, okay. Let's have a look. Oh, Adele's hiking, proper Queen of Wands. Adele's birthday is the same as mine. And we're both Leos, so I know that that's a proper Queen of Wands, Queen of Fire. Someone here says that they quit art A-level and took economics instead. I understand why both are needed in my life balance of structure and creativity. I'm so pleased to hear that, because we often judge the paths we've taken in our past as maybe a waste of time or a regret or anything like that. And I'm really pleased that you can see that actually all paths lead to Rome or Damascus or whatever. They're all part of you. So I'm really pleased you can see that. That is fantastic. And that's from Adele as well. Brilliant. Yes, creativity and structure and strategy is very strong in you. Julia is saying, I still feel the cup's energy today too. Yes. And if it wasn't for feeling that my power had come back to me last night, I would have thought that I was maybe still on the Ace of Cups. But it does feel like it came in for a little bit, the Ace of Wands, and it's gone back out again. I know that the sun is supposed to be back tomorrow, so it may well be that there's more of a feeling of the Ace of Wands tomorrow, although we will be on the Ace of Pentacles. Those of you that have maybe done the journey a few times could maybe tune in to your own feelings a little bit more and be like, okay, do I feel tired? Do I feel sleepy? Do I feel restful? That may well be more Ace of Cups. Or do I feel inspired and ready to like take the bull by its horns, so to speak? That may be Ace of Pentacles. Sorry, could be Ace of Pentacles, but Ace of Wands is kind of the transition point to that, which is that activation, creative, catalytic kind of thing. Can't speak. So tune in. You know, tomorrow is the last day, but I will post a review. I won't be going live on Saturday. I will be posting a review for you though, so you can look back over and it will help you make sense of where you are at. And it may well be that some of you are on the Ace of Wands tomorrow and the Ace of Pentacles on Saturday, and you do your review on Sunday, for instance, and that's absolutely fine. Just tune in. Just don't spend more than 2 days on one card, because it can be a little bit of an overdose of the energy. It can be like, right, okay, I've had enough now. I'm just going to switch the energy. You can also do that too. All right, lots of love and have an amazing day, whether it's cuppy or wandy. I'll leave it to you to tune in and work out for yourself. Maybe there's still some little bit of cup left over about what is it that needs to be healed in me for my intention to manifest, for my creativity to come back to me, for my spark to come back to me. So I'll leave you with that question and hopefully see some lives in the group later. Bye for now. You have a great day too. Bye-bye.